Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Super Metroid. The last part we got here in Rydia, and now we're going to go through this entire area actually. Now if it's not obvious enough just by looking at it, Meridia is a water area, as we covered in the last part. However, thankfully we get one of its more annoying missile expansions right out of the way, right off the bat. We were actually in this room last part, I just didn't really do anything with it because I was blocked out by that barrier. But what we have to do here is charge up a Shinespark, actually. Because we need it in order to get the next missile pack. So to charge up your Shinespark, walk outside, and align yourself with the second distinctly colored weed, and you fly up to the air and into the missile tank. Also, if I sound different right now, that's because, first off, it's Christmas for me right now, so yay! Second off, I got a new microphone for Christmas, a Yeti mic, and it seems to be working pretty well, though the setup was a hassle and a half, as was the pop filter. But hopefully it all sounds good and dandy. Speaking of dandy, that reminds me of Space Dandy, which reminds me I also got the Cowboy Bebop Blu-ray DVD combo. Hell yeah! Anyway, time for the next power-ups of this entire area. I will say, if you're playing this game for your first time, this is probably going to be the area you're in the longest, because this place is huge. Roll into a little secret tunnel right here in order to lead the way to your next power-up, which is a super missile. Yes, it is. Needless to say, that one might take you a while your first time through. I'm just really good at rolling up into a ball in midair at this point. And as for the next power-up, we're actually going to see a little cameo in the process. Head down to this next room, and this room is divided into 3 little reverse pyramid cone-shaped valleys. And in the second one, there is a little something waiting for us. It's not a missile pack directly. Instead, it's a secret passage, which leads to a secret door, which leads to a secret box, which has a secret picture of SpongeBob at the Christmas party. No, actually, it has Buzzy Beetles. And I am not joking, it also has Bowser. Okay. But we need to use Bowser in order to get 2 power-ups in this room. Well, first off, I want to mention, I won't be surprised if that little spinning thing there is what inspired Bowser's Up B in the Smash Brothers series. It's Nintendo, I honestly wouldn't be surprised at all. By hooking onto this block, you get access to the next energy tank. And by jumping off to the right and doing it correctly instead of just falling off to the left like I did, if you shoot the wall while you're falling, for me I'm going to wall jump up there because I was an idiot, shoot right around there to get a missile tank. That is probably one of the most jerkishly hidden ones in the game. Mind you, a lot are in this game because unless you're using this X-ray scope, you're probably not going to find it your first playthrough. Anyway, now we're back here in the room we were in earlier because now I want to grapple beam my way across this area. This is one of the few areas where you need to use the grapple beam, and don't miss like I did, otherwise you have to do one really complicated jump sequence to get back up. Now, there's 2 ways to go in this room that aren't actually the 2 little holes on the ceiling that we just went through. First off, we're going to want to head north, or up, as it really is. Run through this wall and get a missile tank. And after that, we're actually going to want to head to a door in this room, specifically to the left. Right there, actually. Because there's some stuff we could do in here. This is another one of those rooms that has a hidden passage you might not realize is there your first playthrough. Mind you, by this point, if you're not checking every wall with the X-ray scope anyway on your first playthrough, you're doing something wrong. Or you're just not going for 100%, which I can understand, because challenge running this game is actually really fun. Either way, down here we fall through the floor and get both a super missile and a normal missile. Don't really get why this is here, but okay. Then again, why is any of the stuff in this game here? Also, I didn't mention it last part, but I actually really like the Maridia soundtrack piece. Nice and eerie. Feels appropriate for a water area. And now we're back in this room, because now we can finally bomb this door to head down here. Super missile this door, get your power bombs out, and lay one immediately. Because this is where our next little plot objective is. And by that, I mean power-ups. Shinespark right up here to get the next missile. By the way, remember the bottom of this floor for later, this room for later, we'll be cutting back here towards the end of the part. And if you continue on to the right, we got a super missile. Jump over those 2 blocks right there, by the way. That's a crumbling floor block, so, yeah. Now, there's nothing to the right if you're good at, if you're doing well in the next sections. But if you're doing pretty badly, you might see the room that was to the right of that every now and then. And in this room, we get... Metroid... No. These are Mocktroids. Failed genetic experiments of the Metroids that the Space Pirates tried to make. And they are very, very weak, considering they fall to our normal beam instead of 5 missiles. Or 1 super missile, as we'll find out later on. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Either way, time for a mini-boss. This is Botwoon, who, for some reason, reminds me of both Barbara from Zelda 2 and Volvagia from Ocarina. Very simple boss. He goes in between the 4 holes and tries to fire some saliva at you or snake around like a snake. Like, about 7 super missiles to the face, and he will go down like the rest. Now, as for this room, the way you're going to want to do things in here is simply time your jump well, because what you're supposed to do is speed boost through here, but if you can time just right, you can roll into a ball and just go through this little Morph Ball tunnel. Because you never need to come back to this room, so this is just saving time. Sort of. Another thing that makes Mocktroids inferior to Metroids is actually their energy absorption ability. Whereas when a normal Metroid latches onto you, it starts draining energy immediately. It takes Mocktroids several seconds in order to do so. And while they take it quite a bit at once, it's pretty negligible, all things considered. Oh, look at that! More sand! Yay! Anakin Skywalker would love this place. I hate sand. It's rough and coarse, and it gets everywhere. It also impedes your jump for some reason. Though admittedly, actually, one of the, what was the level in the game? Star Wars Battlefront 1. Crap. The one Tatooine level that had Tusken Raiders in it, Imperials, and, I think Rebellion. I remember there's a lot of canyons and mountain range things. I don't remember. Either way, that was a pretty good map. Either way, past this super missile door is actually where we get the next boss area. The room above houses not only a save point, but I think an energy recharge. There's a missile tank right here. By the way, all the spikes in this room are fake, so don't worry about that at all. Fall through these spikes and destroy that weird eye door thing to get access to our next boss. Now, while this next boss doesn't show up immediately, there are 3 ways to take care of it. First off is the one I'm going to actually do when we see it. And to do that, you're going to need to blow up all 3 of these turrets. Or at least the ones on the left. You see, the next boss, I'll tell you right now, her name is Draygon. As in, like, Dragoon with a Y and only 1 O. The way she works is that she swipes from side to side, trying to attack you in the process. However, if you're facing away from the direction she's about to swipe from, she'll shoot web at you, which will slow you down, and she can grab onto you. That is the way you get to the two main ways of killing her that are easy. Other than that, you just get the missile method. By the way, there she is. The missile method is the longest version, but as for the two methods I want to talk about, first off, if you do a diagonal Shinespark into her using a two-step glitch, where when you do 2 steps and then start running, you activate the Shine Booster. Shinespark early, you could go right, diagonal Shinespark right through her stomach and kill her one shot. I've never done it, but it looks awesome. And the next one is the one I'm going to do. Get a grappling beam, and grapple onto any of the electric outlets that those turrets opened up into. Doing so will cause damage to you, yes, however, it'll also kill Draygon. The interesting thing about this is that if you actually hack the game, you learn it's actually not the electricity that kills her, but the act of grappling to anything. If you just hack a normal grappling block into the area and grapple onto it, it'll still kill her. And now her children are coming to rob the corpse. I don't get this at all, but okay. And here we get our next major power-up, which is actually quite familiar to those who played Metroid II, Fusion, and Zero Mission. The Space Jump. So now Samus can pretty much jump infinitely in midair with proper timing. Rhythmically press the jump button, and she will never... she'll continuously rise or stay at a constant altitude if you wish. In later games, it would either become a double jump or a trick to allow you to stay at a constant altitude. Anyway, I cut a couple rooms back just to save us some time, because now we're entering this area of Meridia. Now, this next area of Meridia actually only leads to one major item. However, it's still one we're going to want to pick up, so you can probably tell where this is going. Also, as I mentioned during the Draygon fight, you can diagonal Shinespark into her, however, I actually recommend you look that up because, well, I didn't manage to do it, even though I tried for about 4 minutes. It still looks awesome! Awesome enough for me to recommend you actually look it up because, it's incredible. I think it's the preferred method of speedrunning that boss fight. They do some sort of blue suit glitch I'm not aware of how to do. Anyway, now that we have the space jump, we're actually back in this room where we entered Meridia. We can get up to this passageway just up there towards the top. And we can also break the game, because honestly, there's no more platforming challenges. With the space jump, it all becomes easy. Also, I apologize if due to the video's compression, it looks like the space jump is traveling in reverse. But 30 frames a second will do that. I know YouTube has 60 frames a second options, but first off, I don't use it anyway, because I'm a Firefox user for watching. Uploading, I'm a Chrome user, yeah, but... honestly, I don't find the frame rate thing that big of a deal, considering most of the games I play are in 30 frames natively to begin with. Or at least my recordings of them are, and will always be. Anyway, in here we get the next item, the Plasma Beam, which also turns on the lights. This is the weapon I mentioned earlier that turns off the spacer. These two cannot be equipped at the same time without means of a glitch, and doing so will cause mass damage to your save file, or any enemy around you. I'm not going to show a glitch off, but it's called the Varia glitch, I believe. Pretty much what you do is that you de-equip the spacer, I think it is, and you equip the Plasma Beam. However, you hover over to the Varia suit in the equipment menu, and then you quickly switch... you press A to equip it, or unequip it in the case of the Varia suit. But you quickly switch over to the Spacer Beam so that it equips it at the same time. You'll know you'll do this right when next to the Spacer Beam or the Plasma Beam. I forget which one you have to do it with, honestly. There's a little VAR from Varia. Doing this is called the Murder Beam, and it is ridiculously powerful. However, you can only shoot it when you're fully charged, and shooting it once to begin with has the possibility not only messing up the way the game looks, but also crashing the game and corrupting your save file, if I recall correctly. So, do it at your own risk. Anyway, we're back in this room, not too far from where I was earlier, because the next item I want to get is around here. Quickly grapple onto that block, let it crumble, and then you can fly up here with a space jump in order to get to a new area. Note, if you have the grapple beam and the gravity suit, you actually don't need the space jump. You can wall jump on here, it's just a lot easier with the space jump. Actually, no, wait, you do need the space jump because you need the plasma beam to get past this area, I think. No, you don't. Do you? I forget. By the way, place a power bomb in here to met this little digger robot thing, dig away the sand. There's no other way past this in the game as far as I'm aware of other than glitching. Shooting this thing with the plasma beam will kill it, however you'll have to start the entire room over again. So, how's life? Mine's pretty decent. Got Smash Wii U and loves it. Got this new microphone and I hope it sounds pretty good. I probably should, if, based off the way I set it up, but yeah. You know, I do have to wonder what the purpose of this machine is, considering it's only here to dig away the sand and then it's never seen again. And it looks a bit too mechanical to be a normal native of Zebes, so maybe the space pirates put it there, but either way, there is a reason you want to do this, because we do get an upgrade at the end of it. It's not mandatory at all, however, it is useful. Don't get all the same. We get the spring ball. So now when we're in the Morph Ball, we can jump using the B button. This is a godsend, oh my god. No more ball jumping, or bomb jumping. I'm not sure what the exact jump height is. I think it's around the same as it is with the high jump boots, but don't quote me on that. It's at this point I'm cutting back to the room I said I would cut back to much earlier in the episode, because we could come down here now that we have some stuff, and fall down one of these two sand pits. These lead to two rooms that each have some items in them. Each sand pit leads to a different room, so we'll be cutting back to that room again later on. The enemies in these little underground sections can only be destroyed by the plasma beam, by the way. And you know if sand can be traveled down if it goes off screen. However, sometimes there are only certain parts of it you can sink down all the way into. By the way, that's a missile packer right there. Based off the 205 thing, that means we only had 5 missile containers left in the game. Booyah, because there is a max of 230. Sweet! The proper way to go about this is actually using power bombs, but I just say screw it. I have a wall jump and morph ball in midair. And for doing that, you get a power bomb. Now, if you want to leave this area easily, the area that you can sink all the way back into the sand is actually pretty much right beneath the power bomb. You know you're in the right area when you don't go only down to here. Once you start to sink down, you're good. And coming back to this area, let's get past the first sand pit and go down the second one, because this is where the next stuff is. The way this area works is that you got rocks that like to fall down from the ceiling, and a lot of crumbling blocks. In fact, I highly recommend you add the spring ball for here if it's not required, that is. And for doing so, you get a missile tank and, if I recall correctly, the game's last reserve tank of 4. So that's pretty decent. By the way, I should mention, to get back to the main room where I got to these two little sand falls in, you have to circle around towards where the glass tube was in the main part of Meridia. And the exit to this area is actually right where I am right now. I'm just going past it for some reason. But with that, and me actually cutting back towards the entrance to Norfair, I'm going to need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 8, we'll be checking out new areas in Norfair, see if we can get any more items in the process. See you guys then.